Adolf BENCA, Dr.Hc, multi-emirate Fulbright, Columbia University, Bologna University, anatomy, painting, modern painter, and multi-emirate academies and other universities, including 8 others and 8 academies. The transformation of coercion, collateral, cooperativeness, modern America transforms the professional devastations that were used in married couples in professional autodidact secularism, as the colleagues have formed the incompetency of stupefaction autodidact categories quadrilaterally against the paradox of modern family as protogenics of immigrant groups from other communist, fascist, socialist revolutions to America as immigrants. The hypocrisy of Donald Trump and even Hillary in her addresses of her dialectics, that her words and verbi expressi don't transform the tragedies and don't correct them. There are Apollonian arrows of aggression and Apollonian arrows of control that may be blind. Adolf Benca's Apollonian arrows are in painting with a brush. He is the gentle giant, the modern American Titan, Apollonian, the Adolf MMMMM Quintus, in transformation painting in the Odyssey of Abraham, 3 sons and 3 manifestations in the magic lantern of Allah, Aladdin, Christ and Christianity brought to Rome through Mithras, Zoroaster and Ariman, as a Greco-Hebraic revolution in Latin, modern Latin, medieval and ancient Latin, by Ptolemaic and modern dynasties. Philip and Alexander transforms history. In THEOS Adolphon, Adolfo is the circa of modern Alexander Vica, manifestation of a communist bloc buildings government. The bronzes of a communist revolution are not necessarily transforming ideology of the painter. What's hidden in the modern hypocrisy is irreconcilable differences create irreconcilable incomprehension and collateral coercion, extortion, kleptomaniac, and leads to modern cooperative fascism, collateral coercion. Subjectively, within the country, it creates, divides the country into haves and have-nots, which both Hillary and Bernie and Donald Trump are doing, because they don't really realize that they shouldn't really talk and address this dialectic. They should do it through actions, social actions of modern world and modern America, as a union between Canada and South America. The modern evolution of modern transformation of philosophy is a lesson of the philosophy, lesson of the Greek Empire in Apollonian cave, and the transformation of Platonic paradigms in the non-technological assimilation of Greek Empire. Philip of Macedon and the history of Eastern Bloc reduced it by monarchy, Sparta, Corinth, etc. But this transformation may not take place. It's not about politics, and it's about symbiology of transforming human nature and cooperativeness. And this disclosure is that people with great dignity and great character of humanity and human effort and great intelligence are the most categorized into problematic discoursy transformation, yet they are the most collaborative in achievement. It is a paradox too, and a contradiction in evolution of education and enlightenment and history. Man's very incomprehensible and very quantum doesn't need to be controlled, needs to be honed into a modern pantheon. It isn't incomprehensible aversion and corruption and it can be corrected, but the proper symbiology of modern quest and modern quantum value spectrum needs to be addressed beyond the massacres of Katyn, forest massacres of Stalin and Hitler's Holocaust, and Roosevelt's Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Truman's treaties of Wilsonian states. Nomenclatura. America is a great country only if it lives up to the evolution of its integrity. In its honorary Fulbrights and honorary indoctrinated colleagues in honoris cursum. That's what Abelowski and the Eastern Bloc communists didn't do. So the coercion from America went into coercion in the communist bloc. That's a double negative. It causes a tremendous and great tragedy. The divided family and the distortion of these esteemed modern secular independent war by individuals don't see social collective good in front of their own individual good. They're narcissists, narcissized like Donald Trump and Hillary and Bernie, and they don't see socialist issues before them. They don't see the optological cohesion of metamorphosis as Helios bridging wars, bicultural revolutions. They don't see the irony between different religions, theocracies, and races as a satiricon of divine comedy, but still maintain that it's created. The evolution of synthesis and collateral synthesis, catharsis, transformation, not as negation of this human positive energy, because there are positive cells and negative cells in the transformation of modern world. And the hardest yet are those that are the most comprehensible. Leonardo da Vinci and his transformation of entropy's objective anatomy in modern physics and political states has yet to reach world revolution in a new world renaissance as a universal man in the Western transformation of Apollo through Zeus through the mandala of Western world. Sees the characterization that man's Promethean and Apollonian Icarus Daedalus transformation is indeed great and magnificent, and the phoenix rises even of greatest tragedy. Are lessons to be learned, not reacted authoritatively or in fascist reactions. Donald Trump is a psychologically inferior human being because he's narcissized the pseudo-socialist polarities to be credible to neutrality. So is Hillary. So are most American presidents. Ones that tried, like Robert Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy, were elaborate, were assassinated. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, history of transformation against imperialism and parallel fascism has been going on for 5,000 years, since Ahriman, and the anthropology of Osiris, Cyrus, Horus, and Yahweh as a single transformation, that there's a universal man beyond the nomenclatura. Columbia University and the Manhattan Project and the University of Chicago and the Oxford Adolf Award and the Slade School transformed the travels of Ulysses and with Flavia from Palermo to Milano, Berlusconi, Putin, and modern Donald Trump. Adolf Benza is more than qualified to be a professor of any university with his own academy in Vienna, Bratislava, and yet his over of 200,000 paintings is now presently at Brussels in the Parliament and in Serbia for a large exhibition expose Cold War history. Madame Albright's mistakes and politics is that people in Edward Albee's existential categories cannot just intellectually say no to war. They want neutrality so they do not assassinated and killed by tragedies of modern bilateral, collateral, CIA, and KVD bloodlands of no man's land. It has reached the point where the educated positivists of modern Excelsior group are indeed brought together for the forthright fruition of brilliant Fulbright capacities and Nobel Prize transformation to the anatomy social sector of the modern Metropolis Police Academy.